Hi, you're looking at our DSX-25 um, spiral and hoop bender. You're looking at the right side control panel, the rear with the emergency stop, the left side motor access and the port where the power cord and the foot pedal come out, and then the front control panel with the front emergency stop. As we come over here to the control panel size, this is the lockout on-off. It's in lockout point right now. As we can see, we're looking at it again. It's been powered on, so as you can see, we have all three lights are on, showing all three phases of power. If I turn it to this position, this is the on position, because you can see there's no lockout hold to lock it in the off position. We normally ship these units without a plug on the end, so the electrical can be hooked up to the way that the customer really wants. Turning the switch to both the stop and the top vertical position, I press on. The green power light comes on, showing the unit has power and will operate. I've turned it to left, forward, and manual, and the foot pedal switch press. You heard it move. Now we'll show you the power drives moving. So this is one direction. So right now this is set for forward with the way we have the electrical. Switching the left dial to reverse, you'll notice that it will turn now in the other direction when the foot pedal button is pressed. You'll notice that I have to have the foot pedal button pressed to do it. If I switch the right dial over, it is currently wired so that it only operates in manual. So either the foot pedal button, or here I am over operating the foot pedal with my foot, showing that as I turn it on with my foot pedal, it turns, and when I take my foot pedal off, it stops. You'll notice there are notches in the drive wheel. This is to use to help bend the bar to get it in initially. And as you can use these to just make sure they get it right. As we walk around over here, there's a little bit of a gauge that can show you the adjustment that you make forward and back on that center roll. The guard, as you can see, is a 2-piece folder, unfolded all the way out, and we'll get a little better look at the top here. Get it back into focus. So that's the other drive pin that helps to move that center. This is the front control panel. See at the left you have a forward, stop, and reverse. On the right, yours unit probably says manual, stop, manual, because we rewire it so the auto doesn't work. Foot pedal button. You press the foot pedal button to make it work. Then you have the if in this case auto, you'll notice this machine is also working in manual. Turning it off turns the power on, turn on, power button on. The emergency stop, push in, shuts it off. Hopefully, so I'll show you again. So I push in for emergency stop to deactivate, slight turn to the side, and it pops out. Emergency stop button on the other side operates the exact same way. We're going to open up the electrical panel. So when you look inside, there's not a whole lot here. Up in the top left, the main circuit breaker. To the next one to the left, it's the main contactor. Then there's control circuit breakers. I believe the forward contactor is on the top, the transformer, and the middle reverse contactor on this middle row, and then the strip down at the bottom for all the wires going in. As we come around the machine, you'll come over here to the other panel. So that key up on top is what's used to open the panels. You'll see the signet information on the outside. Inside you can see the motor and the gearbox for the drive wheels. So that's pretty much all the machine is housing in that. These machines are 3-phase. They're either 240 volt or 480 volt. That's our foot pedal right there. It doesn't have a lock that you have to disengage to be able to operate, but alright, so this is the top of the DSX-25. And you can see I'm taking a spanner to make adjustments. This adjusts the tightness roller in the center, the moving roller. So as you can see, I'm turning and it's pulling it closer to the drive wheels, as you can see my finger. So just take this wrench, which allows us, there's a set bolt here that allows to tighten and make sure that the moving roller is not going to move. So if you're going to take a long bar because you want to spiral them, one of the things you want to do is make sure you're supporting the file and tail. So you get that over here, get pushed in, make sure everything's good. In this case, I'm doing it all by myself, but not so great. So anyways, before you go to bend anything, it's good to make sure that you know which directions the roller's going to turn. So make sure you don't have any bar and check. See? I wasn't going to go the right direction, so I need to make that change. I brought Brian in to help so I can get better filming on some of this. So we're going to do a little bit of a spiral here. Understand, this is us not really knowing quite what we're doing, but running a piece of bar. This is a small diameter, and Brian's just working through what he's doing. He's looking at adjusting. So there's these bolts on the adjustment rollers that go up and down. This increases or decreases the separation between the coils of your spiral. So he's just sticking it in. In this case, he got a little bit of a start. Which, of course, now, because you got that start, it's moved on your table. Watch out for the pinch points. It's a good idea to have gloves, safety glasses, and steel-toed tools so you don't drop anything on your toes and cut your toes.
I wanted to make something small. Probably should have measured that first and then cut it.
Well, if you're going to run smaller, then we're going to run spiral.
As with everything, when you're first doing anything on these machines, going slow, making sure you've got an idea of what it's going to do, how it's going to be, is important to do, and make sure you're watching out for where this part's going to go. So he started it out, and there's a bit of a gap, but now, as you can see, there's not as much gap between the different spiral groups. So now he's going to open it up and raise it. But notice he raised it quite a bit. And so what's this going to do to the spiral? Just wait and see. Look how much larger one level to the next is now.
There's your difference right there.
Yep.
Now with a smaller bar, you can hand adjust
a big
it.
difference pretty easy.
So let's try
Okay.
a new bar. So there's a simple spiral piece.
No idea how well this is gonna work, but let's find out.
And here we go, working on a loop. Now, we figured this out to be just right. But as you can see, when it come together, there's not quite the force that you need on the end.
Go
So
over.
it's
and then loop it back
not
into itself.
quite right,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
but it's a good hoop.
I say we cut.
So basically what you're looking at is the circumference of the inside
Yep.
diameter is how long you need the bar. So we're going to try to overlap this time. So we ran a longer bar and we got some overlap, probably quite a bit more overlap than we really need. But as you can see, we get that hoop. So, better looking hoop, but a lot more real than we necessarily needed. But you got a hoop. And you saw that we had it once. We had the right diameter, we just ran it.
It's the whole other thing. These rollers have cutouts
Yep.
for it to catch into and pull it. Like so. That might still be an awful lot. Let's try going back.
So this is number 6 bar.
Yep. Yep.
So we were a little loose just to get the hoop on this one because we were trying to make sure that we could feed it. You get too tight and it doesn't feed on the first try. You end up having to run it twice to get it down to a hoop. A lot of this is us just first using the machine. We've used it a couple of times, but and we made it tighter. So there we go, bring it in, and then we have a little bit of problem when we get down to getting it to where we're doing both of the two ends. But there's a number 6 hoop. Took 2 runs to be able to
That's
do
pretty.
it,
Yeah,
but
that's
it
real
looks
good.
pretty
I
nice.
go to Stephen for going to the show.
Does it?
Well, it sits on the machine. I mean, it's a demonstration of what the machine can do
Yeah.
in terms of a number 6 bar, and this is what your final product.
Let's tighten it up.
So,
Let's do it.
So here we are trying to make it tighter, trying to see how small we can go down. We've talked about number 11 inch maybe being as small as you can, but when you're stuck in number 6, you'll see that we have problems with smaller diameters. Watch your hands. Really want you to make sure the guards are over the rebar when you're doing this. We have the guards off because we really wanted to be able to film what we were doing, and we're trying to be really careful. But as you can see, as we get tighter, it gets more and more problematic, and now we jammed up.
Do that. I want you to. Over the
So
top,
we were all
not-
pretty until we got to that point. As you can see, we're still working tighter and tighter on the number 6. have too much bar for a hoop at this size, but it's tighter. Not quite as pretty.
Not quite as pretty. Yeah, so it's moving on me.
In this case, we're going to get into something that's a little too tight. So with too tight a diameter, you see that we're slipping quite a bit. We're going to move the bar around and get it to eventually catch. And there it goes. But it took, and you were still jamming it pretty good. And now we got a bar that's running into the machine. So this is where we get into it being just too smart. You got to be real careful that you keep it above everything so it doesn't run into anything. And you got to go slow. And of course, this is why we run the machine in manual, so you can take your foot off the foot pedal and get it to stop.
Where are the tapes at?
I got mine here, yours is here.
It's like about 21 inches.
You could probably get away with about 20, I would say.
So, as we're talking about, you might be able to do a 20-inch on a number 6 bar.
Yeah, this is more like
Oh, gee whiz.
close-
16.
yeah, under 16.
Yeah.
16 gets to be a challenge.
Yeah.
Too tight to start at least. Might be able to work down to it. I had guessed 11 was about as small as you could go on this machine. It's really tight when you get less than 11. Because at 11, you're sitting here. I don't know, maybe you could go smaller than 11, but.
Probably. I don't know about on this bar.
So even after we've moved it around, you can see we're really having a hard time getting it to grip. And we're operating in a plane that just is not going to be pretty. So we loosened up, and now we got really cute.
You loosened it up?
Yeah, gosh, not that much. Well, clearly that much, but sure didn't seem
So
like
yeah, a big loosen, and
25.
look at how much of a mess it looks.
Like I only went out 2 turns of that, but that's quite a bit, all said that.
That is quite a bit.
So,
4 centimeters?
yeah, right on 4, okay. Let's take it down to 3.5.
So what we're discussing right now here is that we showed you there's that gauge that allows you to adjust movement or to repeat a size.
No, that's tight.
And we're trying to figure out what to do, but we'll see if it works.
Keep going. Keep going. Another turn.
So, I don't know what we went to, but far less than. Okay, so we went from 25 to 19, more or less, on one run of that.
We can certainly run 6 at a 19-inch diameter, and it's not too much, and it's not straight off, and it's not too much to be able to draw the bar through.
Mhm.
We aren't having it slipping.
Right. Let me go the other way on this. So I can pull it back through since that wants to be on the wrong side.